It's really good when you're doing a map. Kind of do first, second, and third pass geometry. First is laying down the basic foundation. Second is actually creating your structure, and three is doing the minute detail. I'm doing minute detail with number two because I don't want to make this tutorial 10 hours long. So when I do minute detail, that's your last step. Basically, get your doors, windows created, your upstairs, downstairs, your stairs, things of that nature, and then go back and do like the finishing touches, basically like the door trims and such. Okay, real quick, I just created the outside window ledges. That's pretty simple. Just make your brush and just copy them down. Another little thing about creating walls that intersect is actually making the edges meet. Select your first wall. See how this wall intersects through the other wall. Intersects through this wall. Press your E key, and always my little theory is always work to the inside of the room or whatever you're working on. We'll select these three. Press E. Move it towards the bottom of that one, bottom of that one, and then the bottom of that one. Creates a perfect line intersecting wall. You can actually only do one wall at a time because it won't let you bend the other two. A lot of times it's going to take creativity since you don't actually have photographs of the interior of a house. So in this case, I am going to create a couple small rooms in here. Maybe that's how the building was designed. Then I'm going to kind of work around that, and we'll see what that turns out to look like. It's also a good idea when you're doing interior of places for good shootouts. Kind of stand in the doorway, put your camera about the height of the player, and I'll take a look around and see where's a good spot to put another door. So whereas this player can't literally have a line of sight on another player, kind of off the corner, hidden. Make it a little hallway here. Make it so it makes it more fun to play the map you're actually making. My hallways, I usually make them about 128 wide, somewhere in that rough area, because it gives a lot more movability to actually move down a bigger hallway. You can just make them however wide you want, but the bigger hallway, a little bit better, easier playability is going to be. When you're usually working with walls, try to keep your grid at the same you're doing the other walls at. Otherwise, you'll find yourself with a wall that's 10, the other one's 8, and you're trying to line things up. I keep mine at 2. It really depends upon your preference, but usually a little bit higher the better. That's all I can tell you because things are lining up a lot easier, and I'm not having to reline it up with a number one grid. Doing roofs are a little bit more on the touchy side because there's different styles of roofs. There's pitch roofs, East Coast roofs. There's European roofs, Adobe's, uh, Santa Fe style. It's really your preference, but when you do it, I usually end up capping the top is what I do. I don't inset the roof inside the walls because then I have to go through and lower each wall, and then my brushes won't intersect one another and cause you grief later. So basically, I just created a roof real quick that way, or actually the top portion of the house. Now from this point, you can kind of pull it out a little bit, pull the sides out. That gives you a little bit of trim to work with next time, or not next time, but later when you're doing some final touches to it. Okay, then we have our basic house done. This is the basic foundation of it. Got the doors, put some more windows in. I gave it a couple curves and corners in here for playability. My next thing is to do the floor, and then I'm going to do the detail as far as the actual floorboarding around the bottom. That looks really cool when you do that because it gives it more thickness to the actual house. Makes it look a lot better than what it is now.